1 year after the release of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's / Sorcerer's Stone, Chris Columbus created a sequel that only has one name. Yay! Hello everyone, and welcome to my review of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, which was once again directed by Chris Columbus and tells the story of a new threat that has appeared in Hogwarts. Before we get in, please just remember that this is my opinion. My opinion isn't the right opinion. This is my opinion. Without further ado, let's get started with the positives. And the first thing that comes to mind when I think about this movie is that it's more focused and cohesive than the previous movie. The previous movie I find was good at its world building and introducing our characters, but what it struggled at was its plot for me. Because really in the first movie, it takes like 1 hour to actually get the plot in. It could be quite a bit of a struggle of introducing our characters and really handling the plot. Here they do it much better because this movie is more straight to the plot. As well as here you really get a great glimpse at the friendship that these characters have. I also like that this movie is much more dark, actually, because in some movies the sequels are more dark than its predecessor. Sometimes they do that correctly, sometimes they don't. In Temple of Doom, where that guy was being like human sacrificed, it was played more for horror rather than having the most emotional impact from our characters, which is done really well in this movie, as well as the CGI in this movie is much better. There's still definitely some times you're like, but overall for 2002, the CGI here is better. Okay, now let's move on to some of the negatives. I find that this movie is too long. It's one of the shortest books, and they kind of translate it into the longest movie in this series. Most of the things that happen in the book happen here in this movie, and it could feel like some scenes here weren't needed to be in the movie because some scenes didn't exactly have the most forward momentum. As well as in the first movie, it took a while to get the movie going or actually getting to Hogwarts because we were being introduced to the world and the universe. Here, even though there is some character introductions, there's definitely less of it, and it still does take quite a while to actually get to Hogwarts with less character introductions. It could just make the journey to Hogwarts feel stretched out, and it could make it feel like this movie just drags. Also, the acting in this movie also isn't perfect. It definitely is better than in its predecessor. Definitely at times you're like, it could just feel a bit more like a stage performance at certain times rather than a movie performance. As well as there definitely are some elements you're like, wait, haven't I seen that before? And overall, I'll give Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets a B-.
Quick soundtrack review.
Once again, John Williams delivered a great soundtrack, which I personally don't think was as good as the first one. It still stands on its own. I do think that we should have gotten a bit more new cues. And overall, I'll give this soundtrack a 9.5 out of 10.